It starts the moment you stop reacting. The phone goes quiet. Invitations disappear. A friend who once praised you suddenly becomes cold. Someone spreads a version of your story that barely resembles the truth. At first it feels random, but it isn't. When people can no longer control your choices, they often try to control how others see you. That is one of the oldest games in human history. And if you don't recognize it, you'll spend your life fighting shadows instead of protecting your peace. There is an uncomfortable truth about human relationships that rarely gets discussed. Many connections feel healthy only because everyone silently agrees to play a role. One person is always available. One apologizes first. One keeps everyone happy. One accepts disrespect to avoid conflict. Everything seems peaceful until one person changes. The moment someone decides to value themselves more than approval, the balance breaks. Suddenly they're called selfish, cold, difficult, arrogant. Not because they became worse, because they became harder to influence. Marcus Aurelius understood this long before social media, office politics, or family drama existed. As Emperor of Rome, he lived surrounded by people whose smiles often hid ambition. Every decision he made threatened someone's expectations. Every refusal created another enemy. Yet in his private writings, he never obsessed over changing those people. He reminded himself of something far more powerful. You cannot stop another person's judgment. You can stop becoming its prisoner. That distinction changed everything. Roman history offers a remarkable example of what happens when influence begins to disappear. Emperor Nero ruled with fear. As long as senators obeyed, he rewarded them. As long as generals praised him, they remained safe. But whenever someone refused to bend completely, Nero rarely attacked them directly first. He questioned their loyalty. He encouraged rumors. He allowed suspicion to grow. Soon the public did the rest. Control rarely begins with violence. It begins with reputation. Human psychology hasn't evolved much since then. Modern researchers describe something called psychological reactance. When people lose influence over someone they expected to control, they experience an emotional resistance. Their brain interprets that loss almost like a personal threat. Instead of asking, "Why did this person change?" they ask, "How do I get my influence back?" Sometimes that means guilt, sometimes shame, sometimes criticism, sometimes silent treatment. The methods change. The purpose stays remarkably similar. Think about a workplace. An employee finally learns to say no to unpaid overtime after years of sacrificing weekends. Nothing dramatic happens immediately. Then small comments begin. "You're not the team player you used to be. We've noticed your attitude has changed." Funny how boundaries suddenly become attitude problems. Not because productivity disappeared, because access disappeared. Epictetus experienced this lesson in the harshest possible way. Before becoming one of history's greatest Stoic teachers, he lived as a slave. He knew exactly what it meant to have someone control nearly every aspect of life. Yet he discovered one place no master could truly reach: his judgment, his interpretation, his response. External freedom came much later. Internal freedom came first. That insight terrified powerful people then, just as it can now. A person who governs themselves becomes incredibly difficult to manipulate. They stop chasing validation. They stop fearing rejection. They stop negotiating their values for temporary acceptance. And strangely, This often irritates those who benefited from the older version of them. One of the most overlooked forms of control isn't loud at all. It's kindness with invisible conditions attached. Someone helps you repeatedly, supports you, compliments you, stands beside you. Nothing seems unusual until one day you disagree. Suddenly every favor becomes evidence. After everything I've done for you. Notice what happened. The gift quietly transformed into a contract. Seneca warned about this through his writings on generosity. A true gift expects nothing in return. The moment repayment becomes mandatory, generosity has already disappeared. Many relationships survive only because nobody notices these invisible contracts until someone tears them up. Then the conflict finally reveals what was always underneath. Here's another pattern almost everyone experiences: the silent treatment. People assume silence always means emotional distance. Not necessarily. Sometimes silence is carefully calculated, not to heal, but to create anxiety, to make you wonder, to make you chase, to make you return to your previous behavior, simply to restore emotional comfort. This is why emotional independence feels so threatening. Once someone realizes they don't need immediate reassurance to remain calm, the strategy begins losing power. Psychologists often describe intermittent reinforcement as one of the strongest behavioral influences. Unpredictable rewards create stronger emotional attachment than consistent ones. Casinos understand this. So do manipulative relationships. Attention appears, then disappears. Affection arrives, then vanishes. Your brain begins chasing uncertainty instead of genuine connection. Freedom begins the moment you stop participating in that cycle. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to examine appearances before accepting them. Not every emotional reaction deserved belief. Not every accusation deserved defense. Not every silence demanded interpretation. That discipline prevented countless unnecessary battles. There is another strategy people use when direct influence fails: recruiting an audience. Instead of confronting you honestly, they gather allies. Suddenly, mutual friends act strangely. Family members ask unusual questions. Co-workers become distant. Nothing feels direct. Everything feels strangely coordinated. This isn't always intentional. Sometimes people genuinely believe the first story they hear. Human beings naturally search for social agreement. If enough people repeat an idea, it begins feeling true, even without evidence. Roman politics depended heavily on this principle. Reputation often mattered more than reality. Whispers destroyed careers long before facts ever reached the public. Today's version simply travels faster. One post, one screenshot, one selective conversation. The mechanism stayed the same. Only technology evolved. That creates a dangerous temptation to explain yourself endlessly, to defend every misunderstanding, to correct every rumor. But here's something worth considering. Every explanation quietly accepts the accusation as worthy of trial. Epictetus challenged a completely different approach. If someone misunderstands your character, live in such a way that time eventually exposes the difference. Truth has remarkable endurance. Performance does not. Of course, that doesn't mean remaining silent during injustice in every circumstance. Wisdom isn't passive. It chooses battles based on purpose rather than panic. There are moments when speaking is necessary. There are moments when silence protects dignity. Knowing the difference separates emotional maturity from emotional reaction. Consider an ordinary family gathering. Someone asks why you no longer tolerate disrespect from a certain relative. Before you answer, another person laughs. You've changed. It sounds harmless. Sometimes it even earns smiles. But beneath that sentence often hides another message. Please become the version that was easier for everyone else. Growth frequently receives criticism from those who benefited from your limitations. That isn't cruelty. Sometimes it's simply discomfort. Your transformation forces others to question their own choices, and not everyone welcomes that mirror. Seneca spent years serving within the dangerous court of Nero. He understood compromise better than almost anyone. Eventually, he realized something painful. Remaining close to corruption slowly reshapes character, even if intentions stay pure. Distance became necessary, not because he hated people, because he respected himself. Modern psychology offers an interesting explanation for why this feels so uncomfortable. Humans crave predictability. When someone changes dramatically, our brain experiences uncertainty. We don't merely notice their growth. We question whether our understanding of reality was incomplete. That uncertainty creates tension. Some resolve it through curiosity. Others resolve it through criticism. One path builds relationships. The other protects ego. There is another reaction you should recognize. Mockery. Not loud insults, subtle jokes, small sarcastic remarks, comments disguised as humor. Why? Because ridicule weakens confidence without requiring direct confrontation. If you laugh along, the boundary disappears. If you object, you're called too sensitive. It becomes a trap. Marcus Aurelius observed that insults reveal more about the speaker than the target. People communicate their own character every time they attempt to reduce someone else's. Once you understand that, mockery loses much of its emotional force. Here's something surprisingly difficult: accepting that not everyone deserves unlimited access to your inner world. Many people mistake openness for honesty. They're different. Honesty means telling the truth. Openness means revealing everything. Wisdom knows when those paths separate. The Romans valued strategic silence. Generals didn't announce every movement before battle, not because secrecy looked impressive, because unfinished plans are fragile. Goals exposed too early often become vulnerable to doubt, criticism, and outside influence. Today, that lesson matters even more. Someone announces every business idea before taking action, posts every fitness goal before training consistently, shares every dream while still depending on motivation. External opinions slowly replace internal conviction. Sometimes the greatest protection isn't secrecy,